Now, the Cavani deal, this one is a tricky one in ways because it's not a great deal, but then it also could turn out to not be a bad deal, if that kind of makes sense. Because
yeah, I'm with you.
Because there's no way that it was United's transfer strategy to sign a 33-year-old striker 48 hours before the deadline.
No.
That can't be your strategy. That's how not to do business 101. Now, what that does think of is they've had targets like Sancho and perhaps others that we don't know of that they've tried to look at and have failed. We mentioned players. If we're looking at a striker that United needs, someone like a Harry Kane, a Jimenez, those kind of players, and it didn't look like we were coming close to signing anybody like that. Now, they let Romelu Lukaku go, and he was the only player that we had of that kind of sort, because we don't have a striker like that at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, Rich likes to mention Martial, and how good of a striker Martial is, and we divide opinions on that, because I feel that whilst he can be a goal getter, and he very much plays in spells, and he does play as our forward, but he's not that type of forward, is he, Martial?
No.
Now, they let Lukaku go, and they replaced him with Ighalo, and now they're trying to fill that void with another dimension of a forward with a 33-year-old Edinson Cavani. I said this to Reece, he could be Falcao, he could be Ibrahimovic, because he has the ability to be either of those, or just like both of those. He has that kind of striking ability, and there's no doubt that he has been a great player over the years. I read something like he scored 180-something goals in 260 or 70 PSG games.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Which is a great return. I know it's the French league, but he brings in a huge amount of Champions League experience. But he's closer to 34 than he is to 33. Now, if he plays in some of these games and he starts to score goals like we know he can, then it could very much be a situation where you go, this has worked out quite well, this. But it wasn't the way they wanted to do it, was it? And that's the key, is you can get lucky, can't you? You can get lucky. And when you get lucky, that's fine. But United aren't in a situation where they can afford to roll the dice and try and get lucky. They're in a situation where they need to be making confident moves in good time and good planning. And Cavani definitely isn't that.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with anything. Part of the whole, what we all call cultural resetting or cultural reboot of that club, was to attract the best young players and to play football a certain way. It was going to be fast, it was going to be fluid. There's no room for a Romelu Lukaku because we don't need a traditional number 9. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went for Erling Haaland, who is a very mobile. He's more of your traditional number 9, but he's very, very mobile.
Yeah.
So I understand why he would have wanted an Erling Haaland in there. And if they had got him, it would have been great. It just wasn't to be at this point. Maybe it will be later down the line. But when you talk about a cultural resetting of the club, and then you go and buy a Cavani, which is the type of player that you said you never wanted anyway in a playing style, and then B, the type of player you said you would never go for again, in a sense that you're not looking to go through a Di Maria, a Falcao, or Sanchez situation again. They've just let themselves down because, like you said, no way did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have Cavani as his go-to striker.